Welcome in. Today we are doing a deep dive into something that feels incredibly expansive.
It really is. We're covering a lot of ground today.
Yeah. If you are fascinated by the intersection where ancient philosophy just crashes right into the most granular, cutting-edge cellular biology.
You're definitely in the right place.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're looking at a truly beautiful set of notes compiled by painter Pankaj Kumar Diamond.
Right, and what he's done here is unique.
Very. He takes foundational Hindu mythology and maps it almost structurally against modern biological science.
And not just old science, he's referencing peer-reviewed clinical research extending right up to 2026.
It's wild. Our mission today is to explore the profound physical, emotional, and spiritual connection between a mother and child.
Using Diamond's synthesis to see how ancient metaphors align perfectly with our modern biological reality.
Exactly. And for you listening, we're going to completely change how you look at something you see every single day.
Your navel.
Right. It is your very first scar. It's the receipt of your creation. Diamond starts with the mythological blueprint. He shares the Hindu creation story, where Lord Vishnu, the preserver of the universe, has a lotus sprouting from his navel.
Yes, and upon this massive lotus sits Lord Brahma, the creator.
Right, and Brahma creates the universe from there.
What's fascinating here is how deliberate that imagery is. It symbolizes the birth of a new creation from an ultimate central source of energy.
It doesn't just materialize out of nowhere.
Exactly. And if we transition from that mythological lotus to the biological reality, the parallels are impossible to ignore.
The biological lotus being the placenta.
Yes, and the stem of that lotus is the umbilical cord.
Which people often think of as just a simple string.
Oh, it's so much more than that. It's a life-giving highway. Structurally, it consists of 3 main blood vessels.
2 arteries and 1 vein, right.
Correct. And that single vein is surging with oxygen, glucose, amino acids, vitamins, and maternal antibodies.
Delivering it all directly from the biological lotus to the developing baby.
It's a massive, highly pressurized infrastructure project.
Right up until birth. Because then the cord is cut. The remaining part dries up, falls off, and leaves the navel.
The permanent physical reminder that we were once entirely physically connected to another human being.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because that physical connection is cut, but how do emotions physically travel across that highway before birth?
Well, emotions are essentially chemical events. It's a science of hormonal flow.
Right.
When a mother is happy, laughing, or just really relaxed, her body releases endorphins and oxytocin.
And those just flow right to the baby.
They do. They cross the placenta, and it actually stabilizes the fetal heart rate and improves overall neurodevelopment.
It's actively engineering the baby's neurological stability.
Yeah. But the negative side of that, the stress response, is much more complex.
Cortisol.
Exactly. When the mother experiences stress, cortisol floods her system. But the placenta isn't just a passive filter. It acts as a biological shield.
Using an enzyme, right? I read this part.
Yes, the 11-beta-HSD2 enzyme.
Right, 11-beta-HSD2.
It's basically a firewall. It tries to block that maternal cortisol from crossing the placenta by neutralizing it.
But it has a breaking point.
It does. If the mother is under chronic, relentless stress, that enzyme gets totally overwhelmed. The firewall breaks down.
And then the active cortisol just floods the fetal environment.
Exactly. Diamond cites specific research here, the Davis study from 2010, and then the Anderson and Howland research from 2016.
What did they find exactly?
They found that excessive cortisol exposure actually alters the developing baby's brain.
Wow.
It leads to much higher cortisol reactivity in the child later in life. It significantly increases the risk for anxiety, attention issues, and problems with emotional regulation.
So for you listening, think about what that means. Your baseline for stress, your core emotional programming.
It was being written before you even took your first breath.
It completely reframes how we think about human development. And it's not just a chemical environment in there, is it?
No, not at all. It's a highly sensory space.
Right. The 2025 research on fetal kinematics, it shows that an active fetus one that's kicking and shifting a lot actually strengthens the maternal-fetal attachment.
It's a biofeedback loop. The physical movement creates a psychological bond for the mother.
But the auditory connection might be the most powerful part of that sensory experience.
The symphony of the heartbeat.
Yeah.
Between 20 to 24 weeks, the baby begins to clearly hear and feel the mother's heartbeat.
And it becomes this ultimate symbol of safety.
Right. The fetal auditory system basically wires itself around that constant, steady rhythm.
Which explains so much about what happens right after birth.
Dimon points to the Webb research from 2015 on fetal auditory plasticity.
Because birth is a massive shock to the system.
Oh, huge. The baby goes from a warm, predictable rhythm into a loud, cold, chaotic room.
But if you place that baby directly on the mother's chest,
Skin-to-skin contact.
right, it immediately lowers the baby's heart rate, it stabilizes their breathing, and brings this instant calm.
Because they recognize the specific acoustic signature of the mother's heartbeat. It's a familiar rhythm, providing a shield of security.
Even though the physical cord was just cut.
Yes.
Which leads to a really profound philosophical question. We cut the physical cord, but does the connection ever actually sever?
And this was the absolute aha moment in the notes for me.
Same here.
Fetal maternal microchimerism.
Microchimerism, it sounds like science fiction.
It does, but it's pure biological reality. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the 2025 studies from the Cord Blood Registry show that during pregnancy, actual living cells are exchanged.
Through the placenta.
Right. The baby's stem cells travel into the mother's body, and because her immune system is suppressed for the pregnancy, they aren't destroyed
They just stay there.
permanently. They take up residence in her brain, her heart, her liver for the rest of her life.
And they actually function, right?
Yes. They differentiate into hard tissue or brain tissue. And the mother's cells do the exact same thing in the child's body.
It's staggering.
It is the biological proof of an emotional and spiritual cord that is quite literally never cut.
It validates that ancient wisdom. The child and the mother remain fundamentally intertwined, just as Brahma remains permanently connected to Vishnu.
It's a continuous system of existence.
So to bring all of this together, we started with the Hindu creation myth and mapped it onto the anatomical marvel of the umbilical cord. We looked at the emotional highway, how joy and stress physically transfer, and how that 11-beta HSD2 enzyme acts as a shield.
And we explored the sensory world, the imprinting of the maternal heartbeat that provides comfort long after birth.
Before finally arriving at microchimerism,
Yeah.
the fact that we carry each other's living cells forever.
Damon has this beautiful poetic quote in his notes that ties the entire synthesis together perfectly.
Let's hear it.
He says, "The cord emerging from the navel is the lotus of life. Science calls it the umbilical cord. Religion calls it creation."
That is just incredible.
This raises an important question, though, because this synthesis of science and spirituality completely changes how we view human development.
It's not just biological mechanics.
Oh, no, it's a lifelong emotional and cellular entanglement.
So for you listening, think about the incredible journey your own body has been through, starting from that very first scar, your navel.
It's proof you didn't arrive here alone.
Exactly. And I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over today.
Okay.
If your mother's living cells reside inside your brain and your heart forever, and your cells reside in hers, does that mean our entire concept of being entirely separate, individual humans is actually just a biological illusion?
Wow.
Think about that the next time you think of yourself as entirely autonomous. There's a whole cellular collective inside you. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.